Zara had both male and female private parts. Once upon a time, in the heart of a sprawling metropolis, there was a baby girl named Zara. But from the moment of her birth, Zara was no ordinary child. Her mother, Leila, had carried her for 11 months, much longer than any other woman in the city had ever carried a baby. The entire neighborhood of Brighthaven, where Zara's family lived, was buzzing with whispers. 11 months. That's impossible, the neighbors gossiped in the narrow streets lined with towering apartment buildings. On a stormy evening in early winter, when the city's skyline was illuminated by bursts of lightning, Zara decided it was time to make her entrance into the world. Leila and her husband David had been preparing for days, unsure of when their baby would arrive. The winds howled, and the rain battered the windows of their cramped but cozy apartment. Inside, Leila was doubled over in pain, her contractions coming fast and hard. By her side was Kemi, a seasoned midwife who had helped deliver countless babies across the city. But even she felt uneasy that night. Something about this birth felt different. When Zara finally emerged, Kemi's suspicions were confirmed. The child was not like any she had seen before. Zara had both male and female private parts, a condition rare and, to many, misunderstood. Leila and David looked at their newborn daughter with both love and fear in their hearts. "What does this mean for our child?" Leila whispered, clutching David's hand. "What will the world say?" David, determined to protect Zara from the cruel judgments of society, looked at Kemi with pleading eyes. "Please," he begged, "no one can know about this. This must remain our family secret." Kemi, touched by their love and the fragile beauty of the child in her arms, nodded solemnly. "Her secret is safe with me," she promised. And with that, Zara's life began, wrapped in a secret that loomed as large as the city's towering skyscrapers. Growing up in the vibrant chaos of the city, Zara was always a bit of an enigma. She was quieter than the other children who played in the busy streets of Brighthaven. While the kids from her building chased each other through the alleys and splashed in the public fountains during the summer, Zara preferred the solitude of the apartment's rooftop garden, where she could escape into the world of books and nature. Her parents, Leila and David, had taught her from a young age to be cautious. Zara was never allowed to join her friends at the public pool or participate in after-school sports. "It's for your own safety," her mother would say, though the words stung. Zara longed to be like the other kids, free to explore without fear, free to be herself without the constant reminder of her differences. As the years passed, Zara's beauty became more and more striking. Her dark, curly hair framed a face that seemed to glow with an inner light, and her thoughtful, kind demeanor earned her admiration from everyone in the neighborhood. But while people praised her beauty and character, no one knew the weight she carried inside, the secret that had shaped every part of her life. Everything changed the day Ryan moved into the apartment building. Ryan was new to the city, a transplant from a small town, eager to make a fresh start in the bustling metropolis. He was tall, with a disarming smile and a contagious energy that drew people to him. From the moment he met Zara in the building's lobby, he was captivated by her. There was something different about her, not just her beauty, but the quiet strength she seemed to carry. Ryan made every excuse to see Zara, offering to walk her to the local market, helping her carry groceries, and even fixing a leaky pipe in her family's apartment. At first, Zara was cautious. She had never let anyone get too close, but Ryan was persistent and genuinely kind. Slowly, Zara began to let her guard down, and before long, the two were inseparable. Their love story blossomed, and soon Ryan proposed. He wanted to build a life with Zara in the city, a future filled with dreams of travel, family, and adventure. Zara, overjoyed by the prospect of a future with him, said yes. But in the back of her mind, she couldn't escape the fear. How could she marry Ryan without telling him the truth? How would he react to her secret? The wedding was a grand affair. The city's old cathedral, with its high, arched ceilings and stained glass windows, was packed with friends and family. Zara looked stunning in her white gown, her heart pounding not just from excitement but from anxiety about the future. Ryan stood at the altar, his eyes filled with love and admiration for the woman he was about to marry. But Zara had a plan. She would wait. She couldn't bear to tell Ryan on their wedding night. Not yet, she whispered to herself. I need more time. The first few weeks of marriage were a blur of happiness but also growing tension. Ryan couldn't understand why Zara seemed so distant. Every time he tried to get close, she pulled away, offering vague excuses. At first, he was patient, but as time went on, doubt began to creep in. He couldn't shake the feeling that Zara was hiding something. One evening, Ryan confronted Zara, his voice filled with hurt and confusion. I don't understand, he said. I love you, Zara, but I feel like you're keeping me at arm's length. What's going on? Zara froze. This was the moment she had dreaded. She wanted to tell him the truth, but fear paralyzed her. I can't talk about it yet, she whispered, tears welling up in her eyes. Please, just trust me. Ryan, heartbroken, turned to her parents for answers. Layla and David had hoped this day would never come, but they knew Ryan deserved the truth. Zara will tell you when she's ready, they said, avoiding his pleading gaze. But Ryan's frustration grew, and soon, his conversations with friends turned into whispered rumors. There's something off between them, the neighbors began to say. Why won't she let him get close? The city's gossip mill was relentless, and soon everyone seemed to know something was wrong. Zara felt the weight of the city's judgment pressing down on her. It was everywhere, in the cautious glances from shopkeepers, in the whispers that followed her when she walked down the street. Even her best friend Maya noticed the change. Zara finally confided in Maya, the one person she thought she could trust. Maya, Zara said, her voice trembling, I've been carrying this secret for so long. I don't know how to live without it. Zara revealed her truth, her body, her difference, and the shame and fear that had come with it. Maya, stunned but supportive, promised to stand by her side. You're still the same Zara I've always known, she said. But despite her loyalty, Maya couldn't keep the secret entirely. She shared it with her boyfriend, asking him to keep it to himself. And as it always goes in a city buzzing with secrets, it wasn't long before the news spread like wildfire. Zara's world came crashing down. The city, once her home, now felt like a prison of judgment and whispers. She could feel people staring and could hear the murmurs whenever she passed. Some were compassionate, but many were cruel. Ryan, overwhelmed by the rumors and still reeling from Zara's silence, told her one evening, I need space. Maybe it's best if you go stay with your parents for a while. Zara's heart shattered. She had always feared this moment, the moment her secret would drive away the person she loved most. She packed her things and moved into a tiny apartment on the edge of the city, where the skyscrapers loomed tall, but the streets were quieter. Alone and heartbroken, Zara wondered if she would ever be accepted for who she truly was. But just as Zara's personal life crumbled, the city itself faced a crisis. A historic drought had struck the region, and the city's reservoirs were drying up. Water became scarce, and the mayor declared a state of emergency. Panic spread through the streets as people lined up for rationed water, and the city's leaders were desperate for a solution. In their desperation, they turned to the city's spiritual leader, a wise woman named Amora, who was known for her deep connection to the earth and ancient traditions. Amora told the city's officials, the balance of nature has been disrupted. Only someone with a pure heart, untainted by greed or hatred, can restore what has been lost. The officials were at a loss. Who in the city could meet such a high standard? They searched high and low, but no one seemed to fit Amora's description. Then, one of the council members mentioned Zara. She's always been known for her kindness and her strength, they said. Perhaps she's the one. The city officials sought out Zara in her small apartment at the city's edge, ****. They explained the dire situation and asked for her help. We need someone with a pure heart to perform the ancient ritual, they said. We believe you're the one who can save us. Zara, still reeling from her personal heartbreak, hesitated. She felt broken, unsure of herself, and afraid of the city that had judged her so harshly. But deep down, she knew that this was her chance, not just to save the city, but to reclaim her own strength. I'll do it, Zara said quietly. But I don't know if I'm as pure as you think I am. You are, Amara assured her. The heart that has suffered and still chooses to love is the purest of all. The next morning, the city gathered at the dry reservoir. Zara stood at the edge of the cracked earth, her heart racing. She had been given the ancient words of the ritual, and as she spoke them, she felt a strange peace wash over her. The sky, which had been cloudless for weeks, began to darken. Thunder rumbled in the distance, and then, as if by magic, the rain began to fall. The rain poured down, filling the dry reservoirs and bringing life back to the parched earth. The city erupted in cheers, celebrating the miracle. But something else was happening. Zara felt a deep change within herself. She touched her body and realized that the part of her that had caused her so much pain and confusion was gone. She felt whole, complete in a way she had never imagined. As the rain soaked the city, Zara returned, not as the girl burdened by her secret but as a hero. The people who had once gossiped about her now hailed her as the savior of the city. Ryan, seeing what Zara had done, realized the depth of her strength and the mistake he had made in doubting her. He rushed to her, his eyes filled with regret and love. I'm sorry, Ryan said, his voice thick with emotion. I should have trusted you. Can you forgive me? Zara, feeling a peace she had never known before, smiled at him through her tears. There's nothing to forgive, she whispered. I needed to find myself first, and now I have. That night, the city threw a celebration like no other. The streets were filled with music and laughter, and the rain-soaked air seemed alive with joy. Zara, once isolated and misunderstood, now danced at the heart of the celebration, with Ryan by her side. She had found acceptance, not just from the city, but from herself. And in that acceptance, she had found true freedom. Moral of the story. This story teaches us that true strength lies in embracing our vulnerabilities and that even in the face of judgment and misunderstanding, we can find our way to self-acceptance. Zara's journey reminds us that the greatest love we can offer is the love we give to ourselves, and in doing so, we can change the world around us. I hope you enjoyed the tale. If so, please like the video, comment, share it with your family and friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for more enchanting tales like this one. Goodbye.